Okay, so 2 months ago, I made a video on 10 features we want on FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. We're going to go through that video and have a look at what features we wanted and what features EA have given us or provided in FIFA 22 from what we have requested. We're going to have a look at how good EA's feedback has been really and truly in regards to FIFA 22 and what we know so far. Yes, I know it's my video. I know it might not be representable for everyone, but most of these features were quite universal. Most of these features were features you guys suggested, features I thought of myself and that I've seen online. So we're going to go through them and have a look. And let's see how good EA's feedback really is. Oh gosh, don't watch that beard. Wow. Yeah, let's have a look. All right, so crossplay is one of the first features we're gonna. So feature number one we suggested was crossplay. Have we got crossplay on FIFA 22? No. So clearly, with the first feature suggested in this video, we are disappointed by EA, and PES have actually announced that they've got crossplay on their new free football game, eFootball, which is a bit mad, the fact that it's crossplay and that is free. Number one thing we wanted, EA have not given us. Do you guys want cheap and reliable Ultimate Team coins? And when I say cheap, I mean very, very cheap. Well, then I got you guys covered. Make sure to check out utnice.com for extremely cheap and reliable foot coins. All you got to do is head over to their website, utnice.com, click FIFA 21, select the platform you use, select the transaction type, whether it's comfort or auction, and then select the amount of coins that you want. Even better, if you use code SIM6 at checkout, you'll get yourself an extra 6% off your purchase. The link to utnice.com will be down in the description below. Make sure to check it out and use SIM6 for extra 6% off. Let's get into this video. Substitutions and being able to reconnect to games. Substitutions and being able to reconnect to games. Have EA confirmed this? Partially. We're going to go for a half-half. This is something we wanted, and if you haven't seen one of my latest videos, EA actually confirmed that they are working on subs, reconnect, these kind of features.
Subs. When are they coming to Pro Clubs? Reconnect, you know, spectator mode. All of these three have been mentioned to exhaustion, you know.
It's for a future plan because currently it is very sophisticated to be able to add more than 22 players to a pitch. So they are thinking about it. They definitely take it into consideration, which is a positive. They are listening to us. They've thought about it. They've confirmed it. The Pro Clubs developer confirmed it. And yeah, so it's a positive, at least. They're listening to it. So we'll give this one a half. Better AIs and better gameplay. Better AIs and better gameplay. I mean, this one's kind of self-explanatory. Obviously, EA are listening to this, and if you played the FIFA 22 beta, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to give you a reaction. Obviously, this is something that they definitely are responding to, and with FIFA 22, they have spent a long time working on the next gen gameplay and the next gen game engine. So it's going to be very different to FIFA 21 on PS4. What I know is FIFA 22 on PS4 is basically FIFA 21.5. But if you play FIFA 22 on PS5, it is a completely different game. So take that how you will. They are obviously listening and giving us better gameplay. When it comes to AIs, I'm not too sure. It seems to be that the AIs are very OP on FIFA 22 from what I've heard. Better AIs, I don't know if that means they're better, or if that just makes the game harder. Who knows? And yeah, let's move on to the next feature. Incentives in the game. Better incentives. Are we gonna get this for FIFA 22? Well, from what we've seen, no. There's no new incentives really. There's nothing like competitive about Pro Clubs yet, apart from, you know what, we're gonna give them a half on this one, because as confirmed by the Pro Clubs development leader and from Zara,
we want to also recognize, you know, the more competitive side of Pro Clubs, certain leagues.
They are working with competitive leagues such as VFL and VPG. The owners of these leagues have now become EA game changers, so this means that they are properly on board the EA team, and they are working with EA, incorporate the leagues, competitive leagues, more into FIFA 21 Pro Clubs, FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. So that's a positive sign. That will be better incentives. I've always said if they can just move competitive leagues onto the game and then you choose between the leagues that way, would be so good. Or just if EA just helped out competitive leagues, it makes sense. It would be great. It'd make pro clubs a lot more entertaining. And I think EA's plan, they've got a 3 or 4 year plan for pro clubs now. And I think that's what they're looking towards, trying to do something like that in a manner of incorporating competitive gameplay more into the EA regime. So that's positive. That means they are looking to give incentives, but for FIFA 22, I'm not sure that's going to be a thing yet. Other incentives wise, there's not really much. Right now, EA have listened and responded to quite a few things out of the 10 we requested, but let's move on. Add a foot integration to the game. All they need to do is add a game mode like Foot Champs to Pro Clubs and call it Pro Clubs Champs, where you have a weekend league for teams to compete in, to win stuff. That would be a very good feature, and obviously we know that is not on the game, so EA haven't listened to that really. They haven't really thought about incorporating champs into pro clubs. It's like a weekend league, which would be sick. It would mean there's more things to do on clubs. From what I'm hearing, pro clubs is very similar. It's not too over the top. There's not much else to do apart from divisions, classic. But then you have these external competitive leagues, which are also fun and help out. You have it on Foot Champs. Can't you just copy the format and place it on clubs? It'd be better. And then you win stuff from that for your team and better customizations. And that would just make sense. So that's a feature they have not listened to at all or incorporated into FIFA 22. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. More balanced player builds. Yes, if you got more balanced player builds. All right, well, obviously we don't know until we properly play the game what FIFA 22 builds are going to be like, but what I do know from what I'm hearing, 5'4" is still the meta for FIFA 22, and it looks to be from certain pictures and certain videos that the small builds are the better builds on this game again. Obviously it's annoying. We want tall builds. We want to have fun with tall players. With their whole archetypes and this perks that they've introduced, trying to give the game more variations. They're trying to make the player builds more balanced, and I think you will be able to find a balance using the right archetypes and using the right perks if you want to be tall. But obviously if the game's not all about pace, which we don't know yet, if the game's all about pace, then 5'4" is going to be the way to go. If the game's not about pace, then obviously we can be a tall build. But let's be honest, FIFA's always about pace and agility and dribbling, and it's looking like more balanced builds. Meh. I'm going to give them a half for this one because they've added archetypes and perks which no one knew of, which completely blew everyone away. And it's quite a cool feature. It's new. I like it. So that's exciting, and it should be able to make the builds a bit more balanced. And the way your player grows also is meant to make the builds more balanced as well. So I guess we'll give them a half for that one. To be in multiple clubs at once. Be a cap. Multiple clubs at once. This is something I've heavily requested from EA. This is something a lot of you lot want to see as well. Something that's so annoying on pro clubs. The fact that we can't leave our club and play in a different club without having to lose that club or make someone else manager. It's very, very irritating, and it's a very, very simple thing that they could add. It just make life so much easier. So EA, please add this. They haven't added it for FIFA 22, or not from what I've seen. So that's annoying. That's a bit of a bummer. Something that they could so easily do. And yeah. Let's move on to the next one. Integrating VOTLA with pro clubs. Not in the fact that VOTLA... Okay, this is definitely not happening. This is definitely not happening. I've seen tweets from Zaro and tweets from the actual developers. This won't happen. So they're definitely not listening to this. They're not... I don't think they're ever going to incorporate less than an 11v11 situation in pro clubs, which is a bit disappointing considering so many people want to see it. They could so easily do an NBA kind of gig where they do like 2v2s, 4v4s, 7v7s, 5v5s. 11v11s, or just different kind of things like incorporating VOTLA but pro clubs. You can walk around, play a little Pana match. Yeah, add Pana, add something new. Like, it would just be good. So it's quite annoying they haven't done this, or that they're not really looking to do this at all. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
We move. Let's go on to the next feature.
We'll do smaller
Like, why
games,
can't they just
similar
add
to,
something like
VOTLA,
this,
or what
man?
VOTLA
With just football
could
pitches,
be
little
is,
astroturfs
yeah,
and shit.
pretty much what they could add.
So
to
good,
pro
man.
clubs. More customizations for your pro.
More customizations for your pro. Yes, sir. This is most definitely confirmed. It is looking positive. I'm seeing a load of new hairstyles. We've now got the female pros confirmed. So that means we've now got female trims. We've now got different variations of body types. There'll be a load more trims. Also, accessorized hair is confirmed. There's been leaks. EA confirmed it technically in their trailer for pro clubs because the female pro was wearing a headband. So that means we can get accessorized hair, which has been on the game forever. But it's only been on career mode and be a pro. You can never have it on pro clubs for some reason. So they have incorporated this onto clubs. I can confirm. EA have confirmed it. That's good. That means more customizations. I know there are a lot more trims as well from what I'm hearing. Also, there is a lot more customizations because we can now customize stadiums, pitch types, the goals, the mesh, colors of the stadium, different tifos, like the pictures behind the goals. There's so many stadium customizations. You can choose the stadium songs, the goal chants, stadium chants, everything. You can literally customize everything to a T now in pro clubs, which is good. We can now finally make our clubs unique, make our clubs. So EA definitely listened on the customizable thing. So shout out EA, thank you for that, because you've actually listened on this one. And yeah, let's move on to next.
Bring back some of the old features from pro clubs, such as the accomplishments book, or have some sort of leveling up ranking system.
Bring back some of the old features. This is an interesting one because they technically have done that with their new leveling system, and also a feature that they've brought back, which EA confirmed, was in the top right hand of your screen, you now have your rating, and when you do a good shot, it says good shot. When you do a bad pass, it says bad pass. When you call for the ball and it's bad, it says bad call for the ball. And it shows your rating in the top right. So we now get a continuous ranking, which has always been on career mode, but it's never been on pro clubs. It's good and it's useful because it means you can see your rating as you go. And it's useful for competitive leagues if you want to see your ratings more in depth. They've also included a leveling system where you can level from 0 to 25 and unlock perks that way, which is based on these kind of accomplishments. So depending on the amount of skills you do in the game, amount of plays you get past, amount of shots you score, amount of long shots you take, amount of people you get past, just all those individual things, the amount of people you intercept, tackle, pass through, all those things are taken into consideration in pro clubs now in regards to this leveling to level 25. Technically, this has been incorporated, but it's kind of implicitly, you can't really see it like actual accomplishments, but it is there, it is behind. That is the mechanism, that's what's working when you're playing pro clubs. So that's the interesting one. In addition to that, we can now see very detailed stats on pro clubs. When you play a game, there is 100 new stats you can look from what your player has done during the game. And yeah, so that about wraps up this video. 10 features we wanted, and we got about, I'd say 6.5, 7 of these features, which is a very good start from EA. They are definitely working towards these features. I wouldn't say we got them for FIFA 22, but they're definitely working on them. They're definitely taking them into consideration, and within the next couple years, we will probably see a lot of these implemented into the game. So yeah, that is 10 features we wanted and a few features that we've got so far in comparison, just to see what how EA's feedback is actually going in regards to pro clubs. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for FIFA 22. I'm also giving away free copies of FIFA 22. All you got to do is follow up my socials for the chance to win free copies of FIFA 21. So there's a high chance you can win it. Yeah, it has been Simi. I will see you in the next video. Peace.